Hello, Jonathan. So Iranian media reported at least 2 waves of strikes over more than 2 hours in the capital and nearby military bases. What are the focuses of Israel's strikes?
Yes, so maybe to answer that question, I can read the statement that the IDF has been put out just now in the last minute, and it says, based on intelligence, the Israeli Air Force aircrafts struck military manufacturing facilities used to produce the missiles that Iran fired at the state of Israel over the last year. These missiles posed a direct and immediate threat to the citizens of the state of Israel. Simultaneously, the IDF struck surface-to-air missile arrays and additional Iranian aerial capabilities that were intended to restrict Israel's aerial freedom and operation in Iran. This is the statement put out by the IDF just in the last hour. The statement also states that all of the Israeli Air Force jets which participated in the strike returned to their bases safely. The attack began roughly 4 hours ago. There were reportedly two waves of attacks. The first one, as it seemed, Iranian Air Force, the Iranian air defense capabilities, and then the second wave targeted all those installations which were now stated in this latest statement. The attack lasted somewhere along 3 hours, more or less, in two different waves. According to the reports, the targets included sites in three different locations around the Iranian capital Tehran, and in the city of Karaj, which is not far from Tehran, and the city of Shiraz, which is further south in Iran. As you mentioned, there were no flights in Iran during this time. The Iranian airspace was practically shut down. No civilian air transport. No flights coming in and around Iran. The attack, as mentioned, lasting roughly 3 hours, and according to Israeli sources, has now ended. The attack is now over, as it seems. Very big question now is how much damage was inflicted in Iran, what kind of response, if any, will come from Iran towards Israel. What is clear is that quite a large Israeli attack in Iran took place, and that attack is now over.
Well, Jonathan, Benjamin Netanyahu's office says the Prime Minister and other top officials were assessing the security situation. What more can you tell us?
Yes, and that security situation is first and foremost to see what was hit in Iran, but second, and perhaps even more important, what kind of response can now come from Iran towards Israel. The Iranians said loud and clear, if Israel acts, we will respond. And not only that, as the attack was happening, Iranian sources told news outlets in Iran and in Lebanon that Iran reserves the right to respond. What kind of response will it be? Will it be an immediate response? Will the Iranians take the time as they did in previous cases? That, of course, is a very big question, one that has to be asked, and Israel is preparing for such possibilities. Understanding that some kind of an Iranian response will come. The United States recently provided Israel with a tactical missile defense system, the THAAD, the Tactical High Altitude Air Defense, which complements the Israeli system, the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3, which are meant to intercept long-range threats. So these are two missile defense systems which are now located in Israel. And I think that if the Americans deploy such a system here, it is with the understanding that some kind of response from Iran will eventually come.
Well, Iran's Tasnim news agency cites sources saying that Iran is prepared to respond to any Israeli aggression. Is Israel ready for retaliatory measures from Tehran?
Yes, Israel is preparing, as mentioned. It is not only the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 systems, the Israeli systems, which are the ones which successfully thwarted the previous attacks by Iran, the one in April and the one just a few weeks ago. Now there's a complementary American system which is meant to assist with that. At least for now, for the moment, there are no changes in the directives of the Israeli Home Front Command, but that of course may change. Of course, the attack happened just a few hours ago. This is breaking news. As the morning will come both here in Israel and in Iran, it will not be surprising at all to see the directives of the Home Front Command changing, understanding that some kind of a retaliation from Iran may come. At least for the moment, it's 6 a.m. in the morning here in Israel. For now, it has not happened, but I think there's a clear understanding that a response from Iran may come. It may lead to changes in the directives of the Home Front Command. For now, it has not happened, but I think there's a clear understanding that some kind of response from Iran can and will eventually come.
Jonathan, do we have more ideas or information regarding the scope of Israel's attack on Iran?
We do know that the attack, according to Israeli sources, included 20 different sites in Iran, mostly military installations. I think if it were only up to Israel, Israel would perhaps look at a bigger scope, maybe also targeting Iranian oil installations, Iranian economic assets. But due to the fact that Israel has to be coordinated with the United States for an attack of this kind, Israel eventually chose to perhaps carry out an attack maybe somewhat smaller than what it would have wanted if it would have acted completely on its own, independently. So the scope of the attack speaks of roughly 20 different installations, mostly military installations as far as we understand. No oil facilities and no nuclear sites within Iran.